Hello lovers, welcome to today's foot focus practice. We're just going to look at a couple of ideas for the feet, getting you into the mood for the Full Moon Feels Art Therapy Workshop on the 28th of this month. So we're focusing on the feet, so I thought it would be a nice idea to think about our feet a little bit within the movement practice, and most specifically within the stretching and strengthening practices. So I'm going to ask you to get onto your mat and find yourself in mountain pose near the top of your mat. We're going to go down into a downward dog and sort of start our practice, our short practice, strong today, and end with our foot stretching. So finding yourself in mountain pose near the top of your mat, and the first thing that we'll do is really get in mountain pose and think about what that is. Feet under the hips, ankles, everything is stacked, hips, knees, ankles. The feet are going out straight, so it's all a perpendicular situation. And if you could imagine that you were trying to tear your yoga mat apart, that is or maybe not quite your yoga mat, maybe it's a napkin, but there's some strength involved in this pose for the stability of it. So I would invite you to let go of trying to tear that napkin apart and just stand and feel into that, breathe into that. And then engage, activate, napkin pulling, and see how that feels. Pretty stable. You can do some serious optical illusions, right? So that's cool. So let's be here in our feet and inviting you. So with mountain pose, it's not like this. It's palms forward, and that's just a nice open way for your shoulder girdle to exist. So I want to invite you to lift your toes up on your inhale. Just lift them up off the ground. And with your exhale, just try to put them down pinky toe first, one at a time, just like. And just take a moment to breathe into all four corners of your feet, bringing the hands to the heart space, and even pressing into the hands a little bit. So there's a little bit of intensity, a lot of stability in this pose. And you're feeling all four corners of your feet into the earth. I'm just going to invite you to lift your heels, and we'll just play this game for a minute of lifting the heels and dropping. And you could put your arms up if you wanted. And when you lift your heels, it's important that you don't drop them off to the side, right? This is important exercise for those of you dancing, doing technique that involves going onto the balls of your feet. It's really common in belly dance, but that we don't want the ankles to turn and twist out. So this will strengthen your ankles. Just going up and down. You can play around with your arm positions here if you want it. Up and down. It's very strengthening for the legs too, right? So it lights everything up. And you're noticing your little feet, your little toes, and how much strength they have. So nice. All right. Good, so there we are. We've lit everything up. We've lit the fires. So top of your mat, mountain pose. One breath just with the arms going up and down, no body movement. Inhale up, strong legs, strong body. Exhale the arms down the middle. Once the inhale is complete, make sure you've inhaled so fully. And then exhale. All right, this time we're going to take it up and down in the front for forward fold. Send the hips back, pull the belly into the spine, and drop the torso down into forward fold. Fold your body in half. Strong in the legs. Really engage your upper thigh, your thigh above your knee so that your back feels safe. Drop the hands down right under the shoulders. If that's not possible, that's okay. Let's be here for a moment for the low back, taking a few breaths first. Shake your head no. Very mildly, gently. And yes. Yes, yes, yes to life. All right, so then if you can't get your hands on the ground, it's okay to bend your knees to get them there. Under your shoulders. Take a nice inhale. Open the fingers wide, equal distance apart. Middle finger pointing forward. And walk or jump your feet back. And go ahead and find plank first, just to make sure that you placed your arms well, that your hands are under your shoulders. With your exhale, bring the navel up into the spine and drop back into downward facing dog. Wiggle around just a little bit, hips. Inhale, come up to plank again. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop the heels. One more of those. Lift the heels and inhale into plank. Exhale, hips up, heels down. Go ahead and lift your heels one at a time here, just to play with the feet. Play with the feet while engaging and gazing at them. You might want to draw one heel in and then the other. That feels pretty interesting as well on the hip. All right, let's drop the knees, but don't quite get down, just hover. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, drop the knees, but not all the way, just a couple inches above the mat. A little bit of core work, and exhale. Inhale and hold here. 5 breaths. A little bit of core light up. Why not? Never hurts. 5 breaths, soft face, strong body. Drop the knees, keep your toes curled under, and sit back on your heels. This is probably my favorite foot stretch in the universe. It actually is. It's not probably, it is. Toe stand. If you're not familiar with toe stand, take it slow, bend forward, lean forward, get the weight off, but your toes are curled under. If you need a minute, if your feet are feeling crampy, you can do a little patty cake with the floor, the top of your feet, and then curl the toes under, sitting back on the heels, and we're just gonna take 3 to 5 breaths here. There's no need to press your chest forward. Just have a nice, this is like rock pose, but it's toe stand, but with the toes curled under. So if you feel like do and it's like no big deal for you here, you could do a little something else if you wanted. Ain't nobody stopping us. But that's mindful. If you're really used to toe stand, if you're still kind of like, oh, I'm trying to figure this out, stay with it. Stay with all of your toesies. We'll do some more intimate things with our feet in a moment. Now letting go, uncurling, I'm going to now sit on my feet. Never stop noticing how your feet feel. And of course, don't do anything that doesn't feel good. So now I'm going to lean forward. I'm just going to cross my feet. I'm actually going to put one foot into that sweet spot of the other one, that curve. You have to find the sweet spot. It should feel interesting but good. There's a little bit of compression going on for the bottom foot. And that's really all that is. It's so nice. Besides activating the specific meridians in your body. in the leg and ankle. And then we just come up and just cross the other way, just giving a little bit of compression on that bottom foot with the top one and with the weight of the booty. You can even just gently rock very mildly, giving yourself just a little compression massage. Only if you have your bones in the right place. You'll know if it doesn't feel right. Always ask, always check in. I'm gonna let my feet be down on the mat. Now I'm gonna do a top of foot stretch. So I really like doing it this way if your knees are okay with it. If not, hold tight and I'll show you another option. Reaching back and lifting the knees, I'm just now stretching the top of the feet. Woo! Oh yeah. If you don't like that, if that doesn't work for you, you can get back to tabletop and do the top of foot stretch one at a time. And if you're wanting a little bit more intensity with your top of foot stretch, you can get into tabletop. And so your feet are already top of foot ready for stretch. So you can just take your exhale and just lift your body up to wherever it's comfortable for you. Inhale. You could even take a little, like as if you were going to do cat-cow, drop the heart, look up, and then exhale. Just let your body lift. Okay, get off of those footsies. That was intense. Let the feet be out in front of you now and just kind of lean back casually and let yourself rotate. So I'm just do one little final thing for you with your feet, or a couple little things here. So let's get into Variconasana, bottom of the feet come together. If this doesn't feel good on your limbs here, you can always choose to place blankets underneath the thighs here so that it's mild. If you want to be a little more restorative with it, that is an option. This doesn't really have a lot to do with the feet, the fact that they come together. It's a nice hip opener, which is awesome for keeping all of our emotions flowing. And I like this pose because it's directly putting my feet in front of me. And not just what I'm usually looking at, right, the top, but the side and the bottom. So I like this pose for that reason. And I use it as a moment to communicate with my feet. Doing a little massage in here with my thumb on the bottom and my fingers moving through on the top, in between the phalanges, in between the bones. I think the phalanges are the finger bones, but you feel me. You're trying to feel the meat, not the bone. The muscle. And just saying hello. And you can also hold your feet here and just give them a little hug. And you can lift your toes and get another little whoop whoop on the stretch. And you can even bend down and give them a kiss, or let your head rest in your foot hands. Whatever you decided, make sure you stay soft with yourself during this time and rolling, always rolling the vertebra up so the neck is not hinging. And the last thing I want to show you is really fun, a little holding hands with your feet. This is a toe stretch, actually, and I do this on a lot of, I used to always do this on massage clients when massages were a thing. And so what I'm going to do is take my pinky, and I'm going to open my pinky toe And if you can't hold your leg like this, you know, you can just do this right here. I'm just lifting it up to show you. I'm going to open my pinky toe and put my pinky finger in there. And then I'm going to go in between the next two toes with the next finger. Next two toes. Oops, that one came out. Next finger. And so on until you are in there. And let me tell you, it hurts at first. In fact, you might not even be able to do it. You might not be able to get in there. And that's okay. I've met lots of feet in my life, and some feet I couldn't get in. And some it took time. When I learned this stretch, my yoga teacher actually had me stand in front of her, and we interlaced our feet and stood up together. So that's a partner stretch that you can do. Interlace your feet like this, like put your partner's toes in between your toes like this, and then hold each other's hands and stand up. But that's super advanced. Make sure you can do this first before you do that. So yeah, I like to, if it feels hard, just try to get this top part of your finger in there. So just at the very tip of the toes there, at the top where you can, and then just kind of hang out. And I'm sitting my bottom legs in sort of like a light piriformis stretch, or a thread the needle type of pose where the ankle is over on the other side of the thigh, so it feels comfortable. And then you can just kind of slowly work your fingers until you get them all the way in, and then you work to get them down. So you first work to get them in, and then you work to get them down, so that you're really, really stretching your feet. You may have to readjust your pinky toe a couple times. This is a really nice stretch. I know it's very weird, but it is nice. And then you can rotate within this, or just kind of hang out. You can push your toes forward and do some more, and back, and do some more stretching on your own with this here. And then just come out of it. It can be nice to hug your foot, one hand in the front and one hand in the back. This is one of my favorite ways to give Reiki to feet, is to hug the foot in between both hands with Reiki coming out, or energy. And if you're like, what? Just think energy. You're just a little ball of energy, and then, so it's like giving your foot a little energy hug. So, okay. And then we'll do the other side. So remember, you're just trying to get in. And then once I'm in, I'm gonna try to push all the way to the bottom of my, where my fingers meet, and then I'm gonna try to get down farther. So you might drop your foot here and then try to pull the hand down towards the bottom creases of the toes. Find what feels okay for you. This is probably not gonna feel good at first. It's probably gonna be like, what? But we're on the feet first this month in the portal, because we're going to move through the body within the whole year over on Patreon. And we're starting in the feet because it's the root chakra, it's the earth connection, it's the thing that gets you around. And yes, your legs are the things that actually get you around, but the feet are like the structure of it. Without a foot, the leg doesn't really... So I thought it was important to start there. Also, within dance and movement and art therapy, we don't always focus on the feet. It's not necessarily one of the first things that gets drilled in a dance class. So I think it's nice to make sure the feet are focused on and discussed and incorporated. When you focus on a body part with your intention, your energy, you actually activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and you're cleansing that spot in your body with your thoughts. You're actually changing the vibration and sending healing at a cellular level. So I think that's just so cool, and it's the reason I'm here to share with you. And so we're in the feet to start at the base, to start at the root. I hope you'll join me for Full Moon Feels, an art therapy experience on Thursday, the 28th from 10 to 12. We're going right in the peak full moon time. If you can't be there, you can sign up on Patreon at the $25 a month or more tier, and you will have access to the replays. Thank you for being here so very much. And I'll get up and finish this video with an invitation to you to mind your feet and to get outside and earth walk, especially if you feel like running away with the circus, if you don't understand what is going on and you can't seem to get grounded and focused. Literally get grounded by putting your bare feet on the ground, and when you walk, when you step, feel that connection. And I like taking it a step farther by saying, when you feel that connection, instead of supposing that you're taking something from the earth, think that you're giving, or if anything, think of both. You're receiving that stability, that grounding vibration, and you're giving the earth whatever you need to get there, right? You can think of the earth as your mother, and many do. The goddess Gaia, the mother, the primordial mother of all of us. And when you go to your mother's house, hopefully you feel safe, and you can cry on your mother's bosom, so to speak, right? You can let her have your sorrows, and the earth is this for us. We can let her have our sorrows and recycle our vibrations into that which is beneficial to us. So I like to think of it in that way, as a meditation. When I'm walking, I'm giving my mother that which I don't need, and she is going to recycle it for me and give it back to me as strength and stability. So that concludes my speech about the earth. Thank you for being here, and have a beautiful day out there. I'll see you soon.